Enjoy this great game.
Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel, and today it's time for the ultimate ranking of the MLB City Connect uniforms. Every team except the A's and Yankees have now unveiled their City Connects, and the Dodgers just recently revealed their second and much improved City Connect uniforms. The A's, for obvious reasons, are not going to have an Oakland City Connect, just as they have one foot out the door, and the Yankees, they're just too good for a City Connect, come on. But for this list, I'll omit the previous Dodgers pajama version, which has been dead last in all of my previous rankings and probably would have again. So it goes without saying that this is just my opinion on the overall look of these uniforms. Feel free to put your thoughts in that comment section down below, but let's get into it, starting at number 28, the worst City Connect in my opinion, and it's a brand new one. Number 28, the Detroit Tigers. At first glance, I just thought this one looked pretty ugly, and it reminded me of some of the wacky minor league uniforms that are used during random promotions where they wear some wild looking uniform for one game and then auction them off, usually autographed for fans to buy. And of course, the Tigers were going to always go with a Motor City theme, but the tire tracks, a bit too much. The overall dark blue and black, and it just didn't have any orange or hot orange somewhere to make it pop a little bit. It just looks cringe as a jersey. But many of the City Connects don't have the best jerseys, and the cap will make up for it. But in this case, the cap literally just says Detroit in the most plain font available. I don't even know how this got approved. Number 27, the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles decided to go super simplistic, and the first thing I thought of when I saw this was those old 19th century jerseys that have nothing but the city name across the chest. The Orioles City Connects do have a colorful mosaic design on the inside, the part you can't even see, and there are some abstract explanations to explain some of the meanings behind the design, but ultimately it's just plain for me. Number 26, the Chicago Cubs. These look like the first Dodger City Connects with the all blue look. Just doesn't work for me. I like the Wrigleyville across the chest and the logo that symbolizes the different branches of the Chicago River. There's representation for all the neighborhoods in the city, and all that's cool and everything. Just the overall look, just kind of plain and just kind of ugly for me. Number 25, the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are a very traditional team that almost didn't even participate in the City Connect program. Ultimately, they decided to go for it, sort of. But the issue is this uniform, it looks like a spring training uniform. They stuck with the same color scheme, traditional looking logo, got the birds perched on the bat, except now it says the Lou, which is, yes, a nickname for St. Louis, but also the bathroom over in the UK. So yes, for the first time ever, red is the primary color. So that's interesting. The STL, it's nothing really special, decent logo for a cap, nothing mind-blowing. Overall, the Cardinals, they kept things simple, predictably. For a City Connect, I would have preferred something a little more bold. Number 24, the Kansas City Royals. These ones have a similar color scheme to the Cubs, dark blue against light blue. I like the white trim, the white pants go a little bit better with the blue look. And the KC logo, I like the design. I like the reference to the city's architecture. Overall, it's fairly simple and fairly plain. It's so-so, slightly better than the Cubs. Not quite as ugly, but nothing that blows me away either. Number 23, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Coming up next is the new and improved Dodger City Connects, which are still nothing spectacular, but an obvious improvement. They maintain the traditional Dodger colors and feel, but you have a font that pays homage to the Dodgers' original stadium when they moved to the West Coast, LA Memorial Coliseum. And I really do like the cap. Despite being a Giants fan, I have to say this interlocking D and LA, the logos together as one. The other one said Los Dodgers, which this just was too many letters to fit on the front of the cap. And I also like the number, slightly different shade of blue. These look nice. They're nothing mind-blowing, nothing crazy, but they look nice and simple, and definitely improving upon the previous design. Number 22, the New York Mets. Coming in at number 22 is the Mets, another new reveal this season, and this one took me aback a bit at first because it looks more like a Yankees uniform than a Mets one, and the amount of gray makes it look just a little plain at first sight. But there are some purple accents representing the 7 line that runs to Citi Field, and I definitely expected the jersey would say Queens instead of NYC. But after checking them out in a game, I have to say they look pretty cool. There's lots of features to connect all of New York City. The pattern of the stripes is really nice, and I love the cap. Maybe they could have used a little more purple, a little something to make them pop more, but they're definitely not terrible. Number 21, the Los Angeles Angels. Next up is the LA Angels, who went with a surf-themed look for their City Connects. At least it represents something about the city. I like the surf-style font across the front. They didn't take any huge risks. The colors are similar to their normal colors, and it just kind of looks like an Angels uniform with a surf-style feel. The number in the diamond is cool, and overall, it's a clean look. It pops pretty nicely. Nothing crazy, but nothing ugly or terrible. So it comes in at 21. Number 20, the Cleveland Guardians. Very similar to the Angels. It looks pretty much like a Cleveland Guardians uniform, but with a little twist. The CLE on the front looks pretty cool. I love the home plate style lettering that's also used on the name on the back. And there's lots of little details that add an interesting touch, but they don't really affect the overall look except this sandstone pattern, which is pretty nice. The socks have the Guardian statues, which is cool, but you can't really see it except for those players that like to show their socks, which is not the majority. The cap, it looks like a normal Cleveland Guardians cap. It's cool, but I'm not, as a non-Guardians fan, I can't tell that it's anything special. If I saw it in their team store, I wouldn't know it was anything special. But overall, it's a solid look, just too similar to their regular uniform, but different enough that I'd say it's better than a spring training uniform. Number 19, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Speaking of a spring training uniform like the Cardinals, that's what this kind of looks like. It also reminds me of the Salt Lake Bees AAA team, but there is more than meets the eye on this. The Three Rivers logo to symbolize the intersection of the three rivers, the checkered pattern that looks pretty cool. It's subtle, but it looks pretty awesome, especially close up. The three letters on the front looks really nice, and it's patterned after the circular grates in the pillars of the Roberto Clemente Bridge. And it also has a look just representative of the Steel City overall. So the more I've seen it, the more I like it. It's not a huge departure from their normal look, but it's pretty freaking clean. Number 18, the Milwaukee Brewers. Moving into number 18, we have the Brewers, who took on a light blue look inspired by the flag of Milwaukee, the summer skies of Milwaukee, and its grilling culture and Lake Michigan. The colors are basically the same as their normal uniform, but I really like this look. The cap has the airport designation. The jerseys say Brew Crew. I think probably it should say the city name, but at least it has that on the cap. So overall, a clean look. Nothing incredibly awesome, but it's getting better. With each one, I'm liking the look. I'm liking the way it pops more and more as we move closer and closer to number 1. Number 17, the Seattle Mariners. At 17, I have the Mariners, whose City Connects got a pretty good reception from what I can remember. I don't find them absolutely spectacular, but they definitely look cool. And I don't know if the black pants works for me. Usually they don't, but in some cases they do. It just kind of depends on the rest of the uniform and how it all matches up. Here, it looks decent. The problem is the jersey looks exactly like the old Seattle Pilots jerseys with the old lowercase Seattle. It's not like it took inspiration from it. It is the freaking jersey pretty much. So that's a little bit of an issue there. Still looks cool. I don't rank it as high as the City Connect because there's not a whole lot original about it, but not a bad look for sure. Number 16, the Minnesota Twins. And this one did do something original. It definitely gets credit for taking a big swing. I can't say it was a home run, but definitely not a strikeout. It looks pretty damn cool with the ripple waves, the tribute to the state of Minnesota and its 10,000 lakes, which it blatantly says right on the side of the cap, 10,000 lakes. I think the waves could have been just a little more subtle. I like the yellow trim and the MN logo. The logo on the front of the cap looks pretty sick, and the bottom of the brim has a depth map of Lake Minnetonka, which is a nice touch as well. What hurts it the most for me is the blue pants. I would have preferred white pants here. Overall, this one's pretty slick, I gotta say. It looks pretty freaking cool. Number 15, the Washington Nationals. Here's another City Connect that got quite a bit of praise from what I remember. They got the focus on the cherry blossom trees of DC, the District of Columbia flag on the sleeve, and the socks, and the WSH logo across the chest is pretty cool. They didn't go with that patriotic look because they've done that in so many other uniforms, so I think that was a good move. They do just look a little plain, but definitely the cherry blossoms help that a little bit. So it would get ranked a little higher, except they just a little bit plain at first. They don't pop a whole lot, but the more I look at them, the more I like them. Number 14, the San Francisco Giants. I wasn't a huge fan of these at first. Still got some problems with them, but they continue to grow on me, especially since the Giants tend to win in these things. They won 8 of their first 9 and 26 of their first 36 wearing the City Connect. So I like that they win in them as a Giants fan, but they do pop. They look pretty cool, and I've gotten used to them, and I've definitely seen them more than any other City Connects since I'm a Giants fan. They went away from the orange and black, but not crazy deep into left field. They didn't go wild with it. They stuck with orange and white, but I don't know why there's no SF. Instead, we get the Gatorade G. The fog effect is pretty cool, but they could have incorporated a lot more about San Francisco that they didn't, which was kind of a disappointment, but I still like them. Definitely, they've grown on me. Number 13, the Atlanta Braves. I couldn't put these higher because these are uniforms we've seen before for the most part. They are the 1970s Atlanta Braves uniforms, which invoke images of Hank Aaron smashing his 715th career home run, becoming MLB's home run king. But it's an alternate uniform that they've worn. Yes, it's a little bit different. It says the A instead of just A on the front, but it's just not entirely new. And I really like the look because I love this look. It pops, like just as a uniform, not as a City Connect. This would be much higher. But I used to live in Georgia. There are so many amazing things about Atlanta with the street art, the shops on Peachtree Street, and many parks, the forest. I just can't believe they didn't go with a peach color or something more to represent the city of Atlanta. They look more like something that represents the Braves and the history of the Braves and baseball, which is all good, but these are supposed to be City Connects. Number 12, the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox get the award for the biggest guts of any team, especially a classic team like the Red Sox. You got the Yankees who don't even want to do it, and the Red Sox not only do it, they go all out, choosing yellow and blue without any red to be the main colors. The traditionalists hate this uniform. I didn't love it at first, but I got to respect the decision to go for it. And you have the Boston Marathon bib on the sleeve. That's amazing. The stenciled Boston logo on the front. The contrast of the yellow, white, and blue. The bright look. It all really does pop. I mean, let's be honest. Even the casual sports fan who doesn't watch baseball would immediately notice these and wonder, well, what team is that? What are you watching even? Because it doesn't look like any MLB team that's ever existed as far as I know. Number 11, the Houston Astros. I love the direction the Astros took, going full Space City with their City Connects, the sleeves with a pattern reminiscent of star charts, and the front looking just like NASA, except it says Space City. The cap has an awesome logo inspired by NASA Mission Control. The Astros have the best all blue look, even though I still don't love the blue pants, but it works way better than the original Dodgers City Connects or the Cubs. The Astros City Connects really look awesome in my opinion, even though the fan reception was mixed, but I love studying space exploration and am really into all that in NASA and used to want to be an astronaut growing up until I watched the Challenger blow up. And then I was like, nope, maybe not. But I love this uniform. The Houston Astros come in at number 11. Number 10, the Philadelphia Phillies. Just cracking the top 10 is probably one of the most controversial City Connects, a new one this year. The Phillies definitely went bold and different, and I got to give props for that. The question is, do these uniforms work? The caps do, and are definitely awesome, and most fans seem to agree with that. But as for the jerseys, I personally think they look incredible. I like the bright blue fading to black with the yellow accents. The colors represent the city's flag. That's what this is supposed to be about. I love the font, which is obviously similar to the early historical documents from the early capital of the United States, Philadelphia. And from the waist up, I think these look absolutely amazing. I'm not sure about the black pants with the yellow stripe. Don't love those, but overall, I think this is a pretty awesome look, in my opinion. I don't know how fans are responding to it. Doesn't seem like they love it that much, but I personally think these are pretty awesome. Number 9, the Texas Rangers. Unveiled last year on April 21st, the day Texas won its independence from Mexico. This uniform pays homage to the old baseball teams in Dallas and Fort Worth, while also celebrating the bringing of MLB to Arlington. These didn't get the best reception, but I really like these City Connects a lot. I thought at first they were red, white, and black, but it turns out the dark color is actually midnight blue. And these are definitely unique. I love the Spur style TX, the rope braid along the pants, which are dark to contrast the light jersey, the opposite of the norm, right? So instead of a light pants, dark top, you have the dark pants and light top. So it's definitely a cool look, and I really want to get that cap. I've been wanting that cap since it was released. Haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, but definitely love this look, and overall am a huge fan of the Texas Rangers City Connects. That's why they come in at number 9. Number 8, the San Diego Padres. The Pods went as radical as any team except maybe the Red Sox, maybe the Phillies, but these wild uniforms, I got to admit, are pretty kick-ass, highlighting the beautiful pink and yellow sunsets of San Diego while paying respect to the local culture of Tijuana and Baja California, along with the artwork of San Diego. The color scheme does bring reminders of the old Taco Bell and the Miami Heat alternate uniforms and Miami Vice, which is why I kind of expected this look for the Marlins, but these colors also fit the local culture of San Diego and Tijuana, and it turns out I like the Marlins uniforms even more, so we're going to talk about them in a minute, but these are still really cool, and the Padres come in at number 8. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Rays. Next up, another 2024 new release, the Tampa Bay Rays City Connects, which are almost everything I would have hoped for, especially the neon glow-in-the-dark style green highlights, the faded in the sun style texture, which is just incredible. I love the Tampa Bay font with the flames on the front, although it does seem a little thin with its borders, and since its main color is almost the same color as the rest of it, it just doesn't pop that much. The number on the back has the same issue, although I might need to see them in person to know for sure, but I usually don't like colored pants, but the dark style pants actually look good in this case. The cap is sick, and I might order one for myself. Overall, these are fantastic and my second favorite of the new 2024 releases. Number 6, the Miami Marlins. Paying homage to the Cuban Sugar Kings, a former Reds AAA affiliate that played in Cuba, which makes sense due to the large Cuban population of Miami, these uniforms straight up pop. The Marlins went with a bright red pinstriped look with a light blue cap. I love the color scheme here, the vivid look overall. Social media seem to love them, and I don't disagree at all. The colors really fit the city of Miami while keeping some of the colors of the team, but changing which is the most prominent. So the number really pops in white, the blue trim. These are super cool. Love these, and they come in at number 6. Number 5, the Toronto Blue Jays. Kicking the Marlins out of the top 5 is the new release from the Blue Jays. These City Connects use the all-black look with red and blue highlights. With the red long sleeve shirt underneath, these things absolutely look amazing, really impressive. Reminds me of a lively, lit up city at midnight. It has this vibrant feel with the Toronto skyline across the front and blue over the black, just beneath the Toronto logo in red, and it reflects the blue of Lake Ontario as well. So I love this one. The cap is fire as well, and this overall look just blew me away, and I'm surprised it's not getting the best reception from some of the comments I've seen. This one is amazing. The black pants work to complete this overall look, and again, with the red undershirt and a red belt, this thing looks amazing. The only complaint might be that the name on the back can be a little hard to read at a distance, and the red on the Toronto maybe could be a little more vivid to help it pop a little more, but I absolutely freaking love these Toronto Blue Jays City Connects. Number 4, the Colorado Rockies. Coming all the way up at number 4 is another hot take because I've seen a lot of negative reactions to the Rockies City Connects, but I really love these uniforms. Yeah, maybe they kind of look like college or high school uniforms, but based on what Fanatics did to the MLB uniforms, I would say that's not even an insult anymore. That's all good. And besides, City Connects are supposed to be extra creative, unique, and even a little crazy to represent the city, or in this case, the state of Colorado. And the classic green color represents the pine trees and the mountains, and it looks like their state license plate. And they went bold with their look while also keeping it reasonable enough that it looks like a baseball uniform. And the hat and the circle logo are pretty cool. You have some red to represent the soil and gold for the sunshine. The green pants have grown on me some. I didn't love that at first. I like how it's the same color as the mountains on the jersey, so it makes them look like tall and epic mountains. Overall, these are freaking awesome. I love the Colorado Rockies City Connects, so they come in at number 4. Number 3, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Coming in at number 3 is a relatively simple City Connect, but these are absolutely awesome. A tribute to the Sonoran Desert and the local Hispanic population. The Diamondbacks use a goldish sand-colored City Connect that is still one of the best. It doesn't say Phoenix or Arizona, but it does have the Arizona flag on the sleeve, and it says Serpiente, Spanish for snakes, with the snake S along with the standard Arizona logo on the cap. But over the sand color, it looks really sick. The touch of the red number completes this look, and it just looks awesome, especially when you see players wearing the snakeskin belt. It even looks more amazing. Overall, the desert look, it's just perfect for this team. Very representative of the state of Arizona. I gotta rank it very high at number 3. Number 2, the Chicago White Sox. Originally my number 1, I still really love these City Connects. The choice to say Southside with the Gothic font, a tribute to the architecture of Chicago. The fans seem to love them. These babies sold out very quickly. It's a departure from the classic uniform, but still maintaining the classic colors of the team, but finding a way to kind of go bold at the same time. So this was the first team to go away from the white pants, and it actually works here. I love the all black look with the pinstripes. I think it looks phenomenal. Even the Nike swoosh somehow looks good on these babies because it pops with the white and gray trim. Overall, these are fire. I love these ones. White Sox City Connects, number 2. But still, at number 1, none of the new ones this year could knock off the Reds. A surprising pick, but I love the red and black contrast, especially when black is the dominant color. That's what we have here, the all black look with the red highlights, the classic C logo, but revamped to represent the continuing growth and change in the city of Cincinnati. And you know, all the little touches are nice, but you can't really see them at a distance or when you watch on TV. I mainly care about how do these look? How do these look when you play in them? And they look freaking amazing to me. I love the overall look here. And there are just enough references to Cincinnati and Ohio that these are awesome City Connects. Still my number 1 favorite City Connect uniform. And apparently nothing's gonna beat them because none of the 10 teams that have come out with City Connect since my last video have been better, in my opinion, than that of the Cincinnati Reds. Although the closest was the Toronto Blue Jays. I really considered how high I wanted to put the Blue Jays. I almost put them even higher than number 5, but I'll put a link to this article on my website. If I ever change them or update them or any new releases come out, I'll update it there, or until there's enough changes that merit a new video, I'll just do the updates on the website. So feel free to go check that out. Other than that, let me know your thoughts on the City Connects this year. Honestly, this year's hasn't been that great. I'd say the Toronto Blue Jays and Tampa Bay Rays, those are the only 2 I really loved from this year's releases. Okay, the Phillies, yes, the Phillies too. I'll throw them in there. Other than that, didn't really love the new releases this year. But let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you in the next video.